Hey guys, sorry about that. All right, last problem. Now you have to solve this equation. This one's a little bit different. If you notice, you have inside the inverse sine function, you have 3x. So you're not going to be able to get to that until you basically already solved the problem. All right, we're not going to be able to get to him. He's stuck inside the inverse, but just keep going. Our job is to solve this for x. So we have to get the inverse sine alone. So divide by -6. Okay, and it's the inverse sine of 3 times x that has to equal -pi/6. Okay, well, we know the inverse sine only spits out angles between quadrant 1 and quadrant 4, right? And -pi/6 is definitely a quadrant 4 angle. Okay, so that means you must have taken the inverse sine of some negative ratio to equal that quadrant 4 angle. So we know the answer is some negative ratio, right? Okay, well, let's undo it. So solve it. Let's get rid of the inverse sine. So take the sine of both sides. Okay, so 3x has to equal the sine of -pi/6. Don't worry about this. Let's focus on this. What is the sine of -pi/6? What ratio is this? Well, -pi/6 is in quadrant 4, right? So what you're really doing is taking the sine of a pi/6 is your reference angle who landed in quadrant 4. What is the sine of pi/6? What's the sine of a 30-degree angle? What is the sine of a 30? O/h, O opposite over hypotenuse, it's 1/2. But since it's in quadrant 4, all students take calculus.